Humans smiled after death. That sentence should not exist. I verified it 17 times. Every scan agreed. Every law of biology screamed that my instruments were broken. They were not. I am carries of the collective observation fleet. My species measures survival through probability. Nothing survives after the final signal. Nothing. Humans disagreed. That was my first mistake. The second was believing I understood them. Our academy taught that Deathworld species survive through endless violence. We expected rage. We expected dominance. We expected constant aggression. Humans did not match the model. Especially her. She was called Mara. Small. Fragile. Soft skin. Only 2 eyes. No armor. No visible weapons. She walked through the academy station like gravity belonged to her. She never hurried. She never flinched. She smiled too often. I concluded she had accepted her coming death. It was the only logical explanation. The station floated above the shattered moon of Grath. 600 cadets. 32 species. One purpose. Learn to survive the galaxy. Humans had joined only 5 cycles earlier. Most species avoided them. Not because humans were feared, because they made predictions impossible. Mara sat alone during meals. She read old paper books. Paper. Actual processed plant fibers. Every historian laughed at the waste. She never cared. I believed the books were primitive memory devices. Later, I learned they were something far more dangerous. One afternoon, the academy alarms failed. That never happened. Emergency lights remained dark. No warning drones appeared. Silence spread through the corridors. Every species froze. Predators listen before they strike. Prey listens because it must. Humans looked around. Mara closed her book. She looked at the ceiling. Then she quietly stood. I assumed she intended to surrender. Instead, she began walking toward the engineering decks. Not running. Walking. I followed. Curiosity outweighed caution. Behind us came another student. Brack. A Vorthian. Nearly 3 meters tall. For crushing arms. Natural bone armor. A species bred for conquest before they civilized themselves. Brack hated humans. He called them decorative mammals. He enjoyed proving strength. The academy tolerated him. Barely. He blocked Mara's path. You missed the alarm, little Deathworlder. She looked at him. No. That was all. One word. No fear. No challenge. Just certainty. I concluded she was too unintelligent to recognize danger. Brack laughed. His jaws split open. Several nearby cadets retreated. Nobody intervened. Academy law discouraged unnecessary assistance. Evolution preferred observers. Brack shoved her shoulder. She slid backward 1 step. Nothing more. No anger. No attack. She simply adjusted her balance. Then continued walking. Around him. I recorded the encounter. Human submission confirmed. Or so I believed. Brack did not. He grabbed her backpack. She stopped. Slowly. Very slowly. She turned. Something changed. Not her expression. Her breathing. It became quieter. My translator detected a decrease in heart rhythm. Impossible. Fear should increase biological activity. Human slowed down. I marked it as equipment failure. Again. Mine, she said. Brock smiled wide. He tore the backpack open. Books scattered across the floor. Paper everywhere. Ancient pages. Handwritten notes. A tiny photograph drifted through the air. Mara watched it fall. She did not move. I believe the objects held no value. Replaceable. Meaningless. I was catastrophically wrong. Brack crushed one book beneath his foot. The sound echoed. Soft. Almost harmless. Mara knelt. She picked up another book. She brushed dust away. Carefully. As though touching living tissue. Brack laughed harder. He pushed her again. Still. She refused to fight. The pattern became obvious. Humans avoided conflict. Cowards. I finalized my report. It would become the greatest scientific embarrassment of my career. The corridor lights flickered. A vibration rolled through the station. Distant. Heavy. Engineering. Something enormous had awakened. Emergency systems suddenly rebooted. Red lights flooded every wall. Warning symbols appeared everywhere. Containment failure. Sector 9. Artificial gravity instability. Fusion breach, probability rising. Cadets panicked. Everyone ran. Everyone except Mara. She looked towards Sector 9, towards certain death. Then she sighed. Actually sighed, like someone interrupted a pleasant afternoon. I concluded humans lacked self-preservation. Brack laughed again. Run, human. She looked at him. You should. Then she walked toward the danger. Not away from it. Toward it. Even Brack hesitated. I followed from a distance. Because knowledge demanded sacrifice. Preferably someone else's. Smoke filled the engineering corridors. Robotic maintenance units lay twisted apart. Metal walls bent inward. Gravity surged without rhythm. One moment I weighed nothing. The next I nearly collapsed. Mara kept moving. Steady. Balanced. She touched the wall whenever gravity shifted. As though she expected chaos. Had humans evolved inside disasters? Ridiculous. Yet nothing else explained it. A maintenance drone exploded overhead. Fragments rained down. I shielded my sensory crest. Mara caught a spinning metal shard. Caught it. Without looking. She tossed it aside. Never slowing. That violated 12 predictive models. Ahead, the containment chamber burned blue. Engineers screamed. Power fields collapsed. A singularity anchor pulsed like a dying star. One more failure. The academy would vanish. Brack finally arrived. Even he stopped smiling. The heat alone forced everyone backward. Except Mara. She stared at the reactor. Then at the control panels. Then at the engineers. You shut off manual override? Nobody answered. One engineer cried instead. She muttered something. I translated only 2 words. Of course. Then she removed her jacket, folded it neatly, placed it on the floor. Why? No species prepared for death by organizing clothing. Nothing made sense. She rolled up her sleeves. Tiny scars covered both arms. Hundreds. Old burns. Cuts. Broken bone repairs. Not ceremonial. Survival records. I realized something terrifying. This was not the body of someone protected. This was the body of someone who had survived everything. Brack stepped forward. I'll do it. She blocked him. No. You'll die. I know. She smiled. Again. Humans smiled at impossible moments. I remember my first sentence. Humans smiled after death. Perhaps. Perhaps death simply had not informed them yet. Mara stepped toward the collapsing reactor. The floor cracked beneath her feet. The blue light swallowed her shadow. And for the first time in my existence, I hoped every law of reality was wrong. Mara steps into the unstable reactor chamber while every alien expects her to die instantly. The alien narrator assumes humans are immune to radiation. This conclusion is completely wrong. Mara isn't immune. She simply understands the reactor's old emergency systems from studying forgotten human engineering manuals. Gravity surges violently. The floor tears apart. Engineers cannot reach the controls. Mara crawls across collapsing metal while debris falls around her. Brack tries to follow but becomes trapped under a collapsed support beam. The narrator assumes Mara will ignore him because Brack bullied her only minutes earlier. Instead, Mara risks her own life to free Brack first. The narrator cannot understand why a predator would save an enemy before saving itself. Mara reaches the manual override. The automatic controls are destroyed. She realizes the only way to stabilize the reactor is to physically hold 2 superconducting contacts together. Massive electrical arcs burn her arms. The old scars on her body now make sense. They are reminders of a lifetime surviving impossible situations. Engineers finally restore power, while Mara refuses to let go despite unbearable pain. The reactor stabilizes. Everyone believes the crisis is over. Suddenly, the damaged ceiling collapses. Brack sees it first. For the first time in his life, the bully protects someone else, shoving Mara out of the way. He is crushed beneath the debris. The narrator assumes Brack is dead. Mara ignores her own injuries and digs through burning wreckage with her bare hands. Humans arrive with emergency crews. Instead of abandoning Brack, they save him. The narrator finally understands the pattern observed throughout the story was wrong. The narrator had believed humans always stayed calm because they feared nothing. The truth is much stranger. Humans stay calm because panic wastes the little time they have to save others. The narrator files a new report to the collective. Final revelation, ****, humans are not the galaxy's most dangerous species because they are fearless. They are dangerous because kindness survives even when fear, pain, logic, and death all say it shouldn't. Humans smiled after death. I finally understood. The smile was never for themselves. The reactor screamed as blue light swallowed the chamber. Every engineer expected Mara to disappear. Instead, the ancient emergency systems came alive. She had found the one solution no alien had even considered. Not because humans were stronger, because humans prepared for impossible days long before they arrived. The reactor stabilized. The station survived. Silence filled the chamber. Brack lowered his head. For the first time, the bully could not meet her eyes. I finally understood the mistake every species had made. We believe humans survived because they never felt fear. We were wrong. They survived because they kept moving even when they were afraid. That was the true power of a death world. Not strength, not rage. Choice. The choice to stand. The choice to protect. The choice to save even those who never deserved saving. I erased my first report. Then I wrote a new one. Warning to all civilizations. Never mistake human kindness for weakness. You may not survive the lesson. ***, because humans never smiled after death. They smiled in the face of it. And somehow, death always looked away. If you enjoyed this epic HFY sci-fi story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible humanity-first adventures. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next journey into the galaxy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.